A Southern California couple are in custody after one of their daughters called 911 and led authorities to their home on Sunday. There, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department say they found 12 of the teen siblings inside, including several children shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks in dark and foul-smelling surroundings. Of the 13 siblings living at the home in Paris, California, officials say 6 were under the age of 18. The siblings ranged in age from 2 years old to 29, and the daughter who sought help was 17, though when law enforcement officers met with her, she appeared to be only 10 years old and slightly emaciated. Enlarge this image. Louisiana Turpin, 49. Riverside County Sheriff's Department, Getty Images. Deputies, when they arrived inside the house, noticed that the children were malnourished, Captain Greg Fellows, commander of the Paris Sheriff's Station, said at a news conference Tuesday. It was very dirty, and the conditions were horrific. Law enforcement officers arrested their biological parents, David Allen Turpin, 57, and Louisiana Turpin, 49. Each of the parents have been charged with 9 counts of torture and 10 counts of child endangerment. They are each being held on $9 million bail. If you can imagine being 17 years old and appearing to be a 10-year-old, being chained to a bed, being malnourished and having injuries associated with that, I would call that torture, Fellows told reporters. All 13 victims were hospitalized for examinations and treatment. Although the Riverside University Health System declined to describe the minors' condition, Corona Regional Medical Center CEO Mark Huffer said the 7 adults are stable and they're being fed. It's hard to think of them as adults when you first see them because they're small, and it's clear they're malnutritioned, Huffer said at Tuesday's news conference. Enlarge this image. A home where a couple was arrested after police discovered that 13 people had been held captive in filthy conditions, with some shackled to beds with chains and padlocks, in Paris, California. Sandy Huffakar, Getty Images. Fellows explained Tuesday that the parents, who have lived in Paris since approximately 2014, had been homeschooling their children. When confronted by the police Sunday, according to the statement released Monday, the parents were unable to immediately provide a logical reason why their children were restrained in that manner. It seemed that the mother was perplexed as to why we were at that residence, Fellows said. He added that law enforcement had no prior contacts at that residence regarding any allegations of child abuse or neglect. David Turpin's parents, James and Betty Turpin, of West Virginia, told ABC News that they were surprised and shocked at the allegations because their son and daughter-in-law were a good Christian family. They said they had not seen the family since visiting California 4 or 5 years ago. The Los Angeles Times, citing public records, reports that the couple had moved to California from Texas several years ago and that they had declared bankruptcy twice. Ivan Trahan, a lawyer who had represented the couple in their most recent bankruptcy filing, in 2011, was quoted by the Times as saying that the Turpins seemed like very nice people who spoke highly of their children but who had fallen into financial problems. Trahan said David Turpin had worked as an engineer for Northrop Grumman. A spokesman for the defense contractor confirmed to the Times that he was employed there until 2010. However, Kimberly Milligan, 50, who lived across the street, was quoted by the newspaper as saying that when she first moved in she saw a woman outside the house with an infant, but eventually stopped seeing the child. Over the years, Milligan said, she would occasionally see 3 children who looked like preteens. I thought the kids were homeschooled, she said. You know something is off, but you don't want to think bad of people. Considering the proximity of the houses, Milligan questioned aloud, how did no one see anything? Milligan was quoted by Reuters as saying that 2 years ago around Christmas she saw 3 of the older Turpin children outside and complimented them on a nativity scene outside their house. She said they froze, as if by doing so they could become invisible. 20-year-olds never act like that, she told the news agency. They didn't want to have a social conversation. Still, authorities lauded the bravery displayed by the 17-year-old daughter in calling attention to the situation Sunday. I appreciate the courage that this juvenile had, fellow said Tuesday, to escape that house and get out there and report this to law enforcement.